Whew, that was quick. Been a while.
Yes, it has
Been a while. Been a while. Been a while. Been a while. Go ahead and talk.
been a couple of weeks with a lot of different things going on.
Mm-hmm.
I hope your holidays started well. Ours started pretty well, and looking forward to the rest and relaxation that comes with the break that's coming up and the holiday that's coming up. Hopefully, we will be. Some of us will be getting ready for Kwanzaa also.
Oh
So
yeah.
that's something else that we need to talk about.
What
And
is Kwanzaa? Come to think of, for those who are listening for the first time, and they're wondering, what's Kwanzaa?
Kwanzaa is a celebration of African principles that is celebrated in the African American community to
Mm-hmm.
strengthen relationships, and that's relationships in family and community,
Mm-hmm.
in business, and just overall in general within the Black community. It's a really powerful celebration. Last 7 days does not include the giving of gifts from the standpoint of capitalism, which is also and always a good thing.
You know what you forgot to say? We are actually live this time. Before, it's been recordings of our
Yes,
programs before. Do you want to tell a little bit the reason why? Back now we're live.
yes.
Okay, we'll talk like we're live then.
Well, I am. I
We just
was,
forgot to bring it up.
yeah,
That's all.
yes. Well, the first time we were recorded was because it was
Mm-hmm.
Thanksgiving. And for
Yes.
those, because most people are, whether they're celebrating Thanksgiving or not, they celebrate an opportunity to be with friends and family and, enjoy football if that's your thing, and
Mm-hmm.
all of that. And so what we did is we chose to not compete
Compete.
with that family time,
Okay.
even though what we are speaking and what we're presenting is about strong family
Mm-hmm.
and strong relationship. We chose not to be a part, not to break in on that.
Mm-hmm.
And then last week we were in the process of moving from one place to another.
Yes, yes, that's what you have when you have two small, tiny homes.
Yeah.
You got a big home, then you have a tiny home. So we were bouncing between the tiny home and the big home. Like right now, we are probably in the big home.
We're in the big home.
Yes, we are.
and
You can
and
tell
we
by
had
the background.
and we had been doing the show
Hmm.
before from the tiny home.
Exactly, exactly. Well, we're
And
glad to be back.
yes,
Live, that is.
always glad to be back live.
Exactly. Hopefully you guys are had at least some good information that you had a chance to listen to with our last two or maybe three that were talking about the same thing. And you
Yes.
were resilient. I'm pretty sure you were resilient during those times. Holidays sometimes for some people,
Yes.
resilience is a hard thing for them to think about and doing and being part of, and mainly because of the fact that there's bad thoughts and bad memories
Yes.
during the holidays. Is that what I hear they say? People say.
Absolutely. And
Hmm.
another thing has to do with the fact
Hmm.
that sometimes we go into situations where um, we're not ready for the holidays,
Yes.
and that puts extra pressure on us.
Yes.
And holidays can be pressure filled. I have had some very pressure filled holidays. I am cutting back on the pressure around the holidays,
Yeah.
doing things to make it simpler so that I can bounce back to a more enjoyable time around the
Yeah.
holidays, which means that I'll be more enjoyable
Mhm.
with you.
Well, if you have a big family, I know it could be hard because sometimes in a relationship with a big family and you're very family orientated, and the family many times has a very strong pull on your relationship. Not good for a healthy, balanced relationship, but many times during the holidays, keeping it real too, that bigger family was saying, "You need to come see me. You got to come see me. I don't care what he says or what she says." And it can be
Mhm.
pressured, especially since you're thinking to yourself, "I went and saw you the last 5, 6 years. And you never came and saw me
Yeah.
or us. And now you're putting so much pressure on me." No, I wanted to spend some time now with him or with her and
Yes.
not with you and the family. And sometimes that can cause that kind of uncomfortableness and that kind of
Hmm.
stress
It
during that
can.
time right
It
now.
can. But you have to also do what's going to make your
Mm-hmm.
relationship
Yep. Yep. Yep.
better, make your relationship stronger. And sometimes that just means choosing which holiday to go to, which
Mm-hmm.
family, choosing whether to stay home. And, when you have children and all, it's a lot easier to stay home. Um, or to do it on different days. Sometimes that works real well too. Um, so find ways to eliminate the stress, because if you get stressed, everybody is going to eventually be stressed because they're going to feel what you feel, and it's that whole
Mm-hmm.
trickle down thing.
Trickle down theory.
Yes, absolutely.
Wow,
And
how dare the trickle down theory mess with you?
absolutely, it
What a
shouldn't.
shame.
But you have
You have
to
to
be
what?
proactive and make sure that that is not an issue.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so with that being said, it's resilient in your relationship. And
Mm-hmm.
resilience in a relationship is the ability to withstand conflict and stress and to bounce back from the setbacks. So
Mm-hmm.
if your turkey turns out dry, get some gravy, put on it, and call it good.
And get it wet.
Exactly. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So don't just get bogged down in the fact that something didn't go right.
Mm-hmm.
What they say, when life gives you lemons, make
Mm-hmm.
lemonade. And
Exactly.
that's what that's all about. So
Either that or
that's
just become a
resilience.
banana.
No,
No, okay. Never
no,
mind.
might be yellow, but not the
Never
same
mind.
thing.
I'm messing with buttons here, wondering why certain things are not working. But
Yes.
I am hopefully they hear us. If
Well,
you
you
hear us
sound
out there, I
really
think it's
deep
good.
and loud.
Well, that's
Which,
coming back on the you want it to be. Well, we just went down. Now it's back
yes,
up again.
yes.
I should
No,
leave it
no. I'm
alone.
saying I hear you very well. You're
Well,
coming
good.
through loud and clear.
Good, good. What a happy time this is supposed to be. It's a
Yes.
created holiday. Of course, religious people who have this holiday, those that say happy Kwanzaa season, happy, what's the Jewish one?
Hanukkah.
Hanukkah. And then there's happy holidays for those that really don't have a religious belief system. It's probably more of American kind
Mm-hmm.
of neutrality, if you may want to call it.
Yes.
And then those who are the Christians that say what?
Merry
Merry Christmas.
Christmas.
So it all depends upon what your belief system is,
Mm-hmm.
that you still have a right in this country to be able to speak to people according to what your belief
Yes.
system is, because you may not know what particular belief or religion they have. So
Mm-hmm.
unless you want to read off all of them when you see them, and hopefully one of them might be
And
right.
there are quite a few, because when you take into
Hmm.
consideration
Oh, you forgot the Asians,
different,
also the
exactly,
Hispanics.
different nationalities have and
Mm,
ethnicities have different um celebrations and the way they celebrate.
mm,
And and sometimes they will, especially when they come into this country, they will
mm-hmm,
shift and do something around the holidays that we have,
mm-hmm.
but they still honor their holidays.
Yeah, they do.
So it's one of those things that you need to be cognizant of. But at the same time, if somebody doesn't tell you Merry Christmas, it's not a time for you to get an attitude about it. Maybe they don't know what you're celebrating, and they're trying to, just, and they're trying to be um, cordial and thoughtful in the best way they can.
I think the best thing to do is be responsible for you. And whatever your belief system is when
Yes.
it comes to this holiday, you have the freedom and right to speak what
Mm-hmm.
your belief system
Yes.
is when it comes to the holiday, and speak that openly from that end. And hopefully, the other person on the end will respect that that's what your belief system is.
Mm-hmm.
Happy Kwanzaa, because that's what I believe this season is.
Yes.
And hopefully, someone will be just as comfortable with your right to be able to speak what you feel comfortable with and
Mm-hmm.
what you practice from there. It doesn't
Yes.
mean it takes away from any and every other holiday, because that day's still going to be that day.
Yes. Yes.
From
And you
that
can
end.
celebrate it however you want. I know, you know, quite often we celebrate it on the beach,
Mm.
and that's okay. That's our tradition. That's what
Mm-hmm.
we have chosen to do, instead of, you know, getting up and doing the presents under the tree and this, that, and
Mm-hmm.
the other. We get up and go to the beach.
The beach,
The
the beach.
beach.
Hopefully, we get to the beach this year. We haven't been to the beach for a little while, but hopefully, we get to it this year. What do you
Yes,
think?
I think we will. I have it as a uh,
I forgot to put some
absolute.
music on in the background, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
Yeah, well, you didn't say anything, but
I
put a little music on
I
in the
didn't say it.
background. Mm-mm.
Yes.
I forgot which one. No.
I think it was the second one.
Hmm. I can't
Anyway,
hear it.
I can't either.
Interesting. But go ahead.
Anyway, so each day is a new day, so
Mm-hmm.
something to start new, and no matter what occurred yesterday, today is a new day. So when we think of things in that way,
Mm-hmm.
that's another way to help us stay resilient. And these are some of the things that we talked about in the last month or so as we started out with resilience. And we talked about the things that uh, can contribute to resilience in the relationship. Showing up was one of them, which is showing up for one another, being there for one another.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing and being seen, where you are really implementing the HOT principle
Mm-hmm.
at this time, making sure that you're open, honest,
And
and
transparent.
transparent, and that you are curiosity driven by inquiry. And
And not by
so
the cat.
exactly. So you make
And not by
sure
the
that
cat.
not by the cat.
Because you know what curiosity does to a cat, don't you?
It takes away one of its lives.
Well, that could be, but we do know for one thing. If that curiosity goes the right way, oh, the satisfaction brings that cat back.
That is
Cool
true.
cat.
Yes.
Comes back a cooler cat than what it was before.
And
so
the
if he's not being that cool, folks, someone ain't satisfying that cat. That's the point I'm getting to. Did you get the hint?
Got the hint.
Oh, okay.
Meow.
Yeah, whatever.
So, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I am, and you just kind of left me hanging like
I
that
did.
with that one.
I did. I was trying to get a point across.
Yeah. Well, meow. So
yeah, right. You need to be barking like a dog. That's what you need to be doing.
No, never that.
Yeah, right. So our resilience is all about trying to move into what? More cats and dogs?
More cats than dogs.
Well, resilience should be trying to move to more about trying to give, be more peaceful, be more loving.
Yes.
And have that person in your relationship feel that you are about trying to make them feel comfortable.
Right.
And that you have their back.
Those
are the things that we're talking about. Resilience is supposed to bounce back to, not bounce from, but bounce back to. And many times in resilience relationship, it's a bouncing, not back to, it's a bouncing what?
Forward. Away from.
There's a bouncing away from. Because they weren't really doing that in the first place.
Exactly.
Some resilience is going back to the drama that we had before.
Right.
And you see that a lot.
Exactly. And that drama is one of those things that you really need to take inventory on and say, was that really worth it? Do I really need this drama? Is that drama something that is really important in our relationship? And why am I, or why is he, or why is she being such a drama monger at this time and making a mountain out of a molehill?
And drama doesn't mean that you are a person who is always opening your mouth and speaking loudly in the tone of voice.
Right.
You could be quiet as can be, and in turn not giving the love and care that the energy you have in words and touch and actions and body language. And that right there brings drama in a relationship when it comes to a balanced relationship itself. So you need to understand the tradition of the person's loud, the person is boisterous. They could be doing it because they're upset that day. They could be doing that because the fact the other person is not really giving to them. They're keeping most of their energy to themselves in the relationship because maybe they feel that they are more strongly into what I call a surviving relationship, which is only about myself.
Right.
And I don't have a much of an understanding of a balanced relationship. We're both about trying to give to one another and make sure that their giving is at a level that both know it, not just one knows that.
Right. And appreciate it.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it has to be, or needs to be, appreciated also.
Exactly. Hey, come and think before we move on. Look at the bottom. Who is one of the sponsors for today? For a show that's coming at the bottom.
Kim's Cafe.
I just was there this weekend, had a meeting with one of our site managers that is with our Unity Community event that we do on River Street right in Savannah every third week of the month. We're going to be there the 15th and the 17th. Shameless commercial spot down on River Street. Love to have you go there. Last one of this year. But we were at Kim's Cafe, had some beautiful, good looking food. They're looking much better in there. Need to come and visit it. I'm just saying that right now. They're not paying us anything, but hopefully the station they are. And we talked to them about the fact because we did what there.
We did wow workshop there.
Yes, we did. If you
Yes.
missed that, if you didn't come, we talked about having another wow workshop sometime next year, where those who are listening to us now have a chance to be able to come
Mhm.
to our wow workshop, get a chance to meet us personally, but at the same time be able to get this good information. Take it with you, make it be part of your relationship, and bring some balance in your relationship.
Yes.
Which I know many of you are listening. That's what you want in your relationship. That's what you want to move to. This is where you're gradually trying to go to. Because one thing for sure, and it doesn't happen overnight. And it's definitely something ideally you have every bit of the tools and action already within you to make that happen. And we're
Yes.
just helping you move to that direction. And I would say my 60s and 70s day, because other young lady was with us, say groovalicious, but I would say it will help you also groove to that direction that you
Yes.
have a right to be able to do
Yeah.
and be part of.
Absolutely. And that is, and then the thing of grooving into that direction and
Mhm.
being a part of it together is really a good thing. When you're
Well,
on the same,
that's the groove by
when
itself.
you're on the same page, there's
Mhm.
nothing like it. When,
Yeah.
when you're on the same
Most
page
of us are not used to being on the same page
Mhm.
and being part of that flow and how it feels to be on the same page.
Yes.
And I won't put you on the spot because I was thinking about coming to mind, but you have known the many a times that we have been on the same page
Mhm.
and that we're flowing in the present. I
Yes.
said again, every day you get a present. A present is living in the now. That's the present.
Mhm.
And so when you live in the now and the present, especially with your mate, then what happens is time seems to disappear.
Exactly.
It seems to be that nothing around you really affects you except for the presence of that mate or that person in the conversation that you're having.
Yes.
And some of you have had that experience before where you're talking with the mate who you're caring about and time seems to disappear. Everything around you doesn't anymore seem to be that much of a concern. It kind of blurs. You
Mhm.
don't see them too well. In fact, sometimes people will walk around you like you don't even exist there.
Exactly.
It's like you're in
Exactly.
your own kind of cocoon or your own kind of bubble or force field, like you actually froze in time and
Mhm.
everybody else is moving around you.
Yes.
Most of us kind of remember that during the in love period when we first in turn meet each other. Could have been out of lust too. Who knows? But anyway, you were in that in love person period. Excuse me.
Yeah.
And you could be any place.
Mhm.
And it was just you and me, baby.
Yes.
It was just us
Yes.
connected together and nobody else around did you care about. In fact, your mom and dad couldn't tell you anything.
Yeah.
You got in a lot of trouble.
And you probably forgot they were there.
Exactly.
Yes.
Until they caught you. But anyway,
Yeah.
we're talking about that same kind of presence. We're talking about that same kind of connection
Mhm.
or what we do every morning that we try to do on the spiritual end. It's called what?
Resonating.
Resonating is when two frequencies actually vibrate together and they create a harmony. And we basically are created of frequencies anyway. And so when we are vibing together or resonating together,
Mhm.
it's our frequencies, our feelings to be exact, are feeling the same thing. We feeling each other positively, hopefully, not
Yes.
negative.
Yes.
And we actually then control time, if you may want to say, between each other, and time can stop. And we actually then just relate with one another. Resilience is all about trying to move back to that
Mhm.
so that your relationship is moving mostly in that. Most of us try to wait for high points in our life to
Yes.
experience that.
Or holidays.
Or yeah, like this
Yeah.
holiday. Nothing wrong with that.
This holiday
Mhm.
or a birthday
Exactly.
or something
Or when
like
the
an
baby is born or
anniversary.
anniversary.
Yeah.
Exactly. Anytime
Yeah.
in between that, it's either boring or I don't even know who you are.
Yes.
A balanced, healthy relationship gives you the opportunity and the knowledge
Mhm.
and the tools that you can live in the presence more than not in the presence.
Right. Right.
And that's very important what a balanced relationship can do. And this is what we're trying to present to you is to have that be. And it is a work in what?
Progress.
Work in progress. We're still
Yes.
working on it too.
Yes.
We're still working on it. But yeah, you got that right. You both have that ability to be able to do that. I don't know what that was. Oh, Ladina. We kind of miss her too. She's not here right now. She's got some personal things she's taking care of. In fact, I forgot to give her a link to take a look at it.
No,
Go ahead.
I thought you did.
I did.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
Yeah.
if you're looking at it and you can say something, Latita, go ahead and bring something in. But go ahead.
Yes. Yeah, we miss Latito, we miss Dr. Frazier. You know,
Mhm.
those both of them really brought something extra to the message that we have here.
Yes, another dynamics.
Yes, and their presence is truly, truly missed.
It is. We'll have to get back with them and find out what's going on and
Have them be resilient.
oh boy, I don't know if they want to say that one, but yeah, we definitely want them to be resilient from that end.
Yes. Yes. So share.
Mm-hmm.
Just share the show, share the program, share your wallet, share
Oh, let me
everything,
get to
and
that
make a
wallet portion.
donation.
Where's that donation
Yes.
period? Is that right here? Oh no, that's
No.
the hot button. We got to go back to that one of these times. I don't know what happened to that.
Yes.
Where is that at here? Where is that?
I don't
Go
know,
to.
but
Let's
what
take on
is
the
it?
journey. That was what's
What?
that there? Oh, that's the we'll call it the.
Yeah.
I can't. They really need to make this a little bit easier to deal with this. What is that thing up there? Let's get rid of that.
Okay.
Okay, let's get rid of it. Okay,
There
there
we
you
go.
go ahead.
Yeah. We, please make sure that we stay on. If you
Mhm.
can't be a sponsor, you can at least drop a little something in the hat.
Mhm.
Think about how at church they pass the hat, and you
Yes,
maybe can't put in a whole lot, but you can put in 50 cents.
exactly.
So sponsor on this platform. Continue to bring this allows us to continue to bring this program and others, and you
Mhm.
can do that by Cash App at $ all things relevant. That's $ all things relevant on Cash App. So help spread the wealth in this holiday season, and the wealth in this case is knowledge, information that will help. A lot of people think of wealth as only being monetary or in inanimate objects, but sometimes it is in what speaks to the heart, speaks to the spirit,
A
and
breath
makes us stronger.
of fresh air is some of the information we give.
Yes.
That's a breath of fresh air. Most of us are breathing pollutant, toxic air. Oh, no, I'm serious.
Oh, I know.
Pollutant and toxic air in our relationships every day. We have sometimes our stress so much of the level. We just accept it to be that way.
Exactly.
Our blood pressures are up. Our sugars are up. We have thoughts running in our mind, even though we're smiling in the face, and in mind the thoughts are, I don't like you, I really hate you, you a bitch, all kinds of words. I want to kill you. I mean, we have all kinds of bad thoughts running here, but we're smiling on the outside because we don't want to dare say it on the outside.
Yes.
But
don't want to let it out. Yes.
And we're not feeling good. We're not feeling peaceful about ourselves and relationship. We're mostly operating on that side of a survival side. In the holidays, we don't really look forward to be part of it all. You don't have to do that. You don't have to go into your holiday that way. You can know that you could deal with thoughts inside and know that what we're trying to give you is a breath of fresh air, almost like some good, clean water to help cleanse you too at the same time. We're talking about words knowledge because it's your thoughts that everything that creates your feelings. And you got to change your thoughts. When you change your thoughts, okay, then your body actually follows that from there. And also how you react to other people change too at the same time. It's your thoughts that are very things that are controlling how you are reacting to people, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And there's one other thing that we got to address around the holidays, and that's loss.
Yes.
The feeling of loss, and that can really put us into depression. It can bring us down. It can be add stress onto us because we're trying to hide it, and things of that sort. But
I may not even know that.
Exactly.
That's one of the reasons why
Exactly.
you're feeling down is because of what you just got through saying,
Mhm.
someone passed away before,
Yes.
and it's not on your mind,
Yes.
or excuse me, it is on your mind, but you're not
Mhm.
paying
Yeah, and you
attention
don't
to
want
it.
to. You don't. You know it's there,
Mm-hmm.
but it's there on a level that you don't want to acknowledge it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to
Because I'm
deal
supposed to
with
be
it.
happy. I'm supposed to feel
Exactly.
good.
And so you walk around putting on that false face,
Mm-hmm.
but inside you are just feeling horrible. But what that ends up doing is, while you're feeling horrible on the inside, sooner or later it's going to spill out
Mm-hmm.
to people around you. And it may be a little here and a little there, but if you don't deal with it, it's going to be a major situation.
Well, it's going to blow out
Yeah.
later on when a whole bunch of pressure comes.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be like the last or the
Yeah.
second needle that, what let's say, collapse the hose. What's the haystack? Something like that.
The needle that the needle broke the camel's back, or the
Oh no, the haystack. There's something to do with the needle in the haystack. The needle in the haystack.
well, that's what you can't find.
That's
Yeah.
another thing too.
But
Sometimes your feelings you can't find it. You can't
exactly.
necessarily find
Yeah,
it.
that's
But
true.
I understand what you're
Yeah.
saying too. Yeah.
Yeah. So
It's going to come out some way.
right.
That stress that's going to
Mhm.
happen. Child might say something that is being innocent.
Yeah.
All of a sudden you just blow up. And,
Yeah.
and many times we'll blow up over small things, not even thinking that this could be something that's on our mind.
Hmm. And
What
work
should we do with it? by the way?
and work pressures are another thing.
Yeah.
This
So
time
let's go
of
back.
year.
Let's
Okay,
go back
go
before we
ahead.
move
Okay.
on. Work pressure, a little small thing, even though it's there.
Uh,
What do we deal with when it comes to the feelings of someone who we had lost in the family? We're talking about grief at that time
Mhm.
that can come back. And
Yes.
grief is a very big cloud,
yes.
very big shadow, a strong vibration of energy
Mhm.
that definitely affects our emotions.
And it doesn't matter if it was one day ago, or 17 years ago,
Mhm.
20 years ago. It doesn't matter,
Mm-hmm.
because the memory and the feelings that you have for that person, that
Mm-hmm.
they're still just as real.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things that you can do, one of the things that I try to do, is latch on to those happy thoughts and the happy memories.
Mm-hmm.
Like I for years had issues around Christmas,
Mm-hmm.
because it was around that time when my father got sick and died.
Okay.
And I had issues with that, because for the longest I could remember that last Christmas tree that he brought into the house.
And
And
you
that
never
was
talked to me much about that.
I no, I didn't. I just mentioned it once or twice.
No, because you
But
really
it's-
mostly talk about your mom's side.
Mhm.
You're the women on your sides. It's really too
Yeah.
bad that in a lot of relationships that are imbalanced, many times the African American males are not talked about much. They may
Yeah.
be seen but not heard,
Yeah.
and their memories are not necessarily carried on. But the African American women are women, in turn, the moms and the aunts or the grandmothers are carried on.
Mhm.
That's an imbalance within itself
Definitely, it is
from that particular
It
end,
is.
and adds generation wise
Mhm.
that same imbalance that goes on and the
Mhm.
stereotypes that come along with it.
Yeah.
And obviously through a balanced relationship, we are trying to end that. We're trying to stop that. We're trying to break. Some people might say a curse, but I not necessarily say
Right.
that. But a way of life,
Mhm.
a conditioning,
Yes.
and change of conditioning. So in the future, our youth and even yourself, even right now,
Mhm.
because it is a work in progress, where you can change that relationship.
Yeah.
And maybe it might be a time for you to start looking back at how your father was,
Mhm.
looking back at how your grandfather was, and look at some of the positive things that he did in your life, presenting your life using the Sankofa
Right.
principle, and bring them forward
Mhm.
and have that as part of a celebration. Be another way to be able to embrace what
Right.
that mourning. I mean,
Exactly.
mourning is not just something that you embrace of things in the past
Mhm.
that you think of that are negative, which we do a lot as African Americans, which is too bad, because that's pretty much what shows Only Bush was.
Yeah.
But at the end, the only time you're going to get anything good is when you go to heaven.
Yeah.
Everything on earth, you're just going to have problems and trouble.
Yes.
But
and
so-
it doesn't have to be that
No,
way.
it doesn't have. And many times it's not that way.
Right. Right.
So bringing that past information and knowledge or memories in the past of those African American males, as we do with our females,
Mhm.
and then presenting them in such a way where it's something positive that they did using the Sankofa principle in the presence
Right.
can help be another way to embrace mourning, but
Mhm.
you're embracing mourning in this case in a positive way.
Right. Right. And that's what
I hope we could talk a little bit more about your
Yeah,
father's
I
mourning.
would
now
love
that
to.
now that you brought it, because that's the first time I heard that before
Yeah,
on
yeah.
Christmas.
And that was one of those things that, being very young when this happened,
Mm-hmm.
I I didn't realize how much it was important to me. Um, the Christmas tree that was in
Is it a
the
Charlie Brown
house.
one?
No, it
No,
wasn't.
I'm
And
just,
that
I'm
was,
just trying to
I
lighten
know,
it up because
and that's what I'm
it should have been
saying.
a good memory during that
It
time.
is. It's a
Mhm.
very good memory, and that was one of those
Mhm.
things that I always associate
Okay.
with Daddy and Christmas.
I'll be.
It's the Christmas tree.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And we don't get much Christmas trees because I don't do Christmas, let alone do I really think about Christmas trees much in that way. I'm from the past. So
And recently,
wow.
we've not been in a place where we could really have a
But if
Christmas
I
tree.
would have heard that
Yeah.
story, it would be a positive effect on the relationship.
Mhm.
Knowing how people think and how they feel, that's connected to the memories from
Yeah.
the past, have everything to do with knowing that individual, knowing that person,
Mhm.
and knowing that person, the individual. Hopefully, if you're in a balanced relationship or you're trying to operate a balanced relationship, then it brings more knowledge that you can share and connect with that individual.
Yes.
You can't have much mutual consent with the lack of knowledge.
Right,
What are you going to
right.
be consenting to?
Thank you.
Something you don't know
can't-
about the
you
other
can't.
person, really.
And that brings also to the forefront
Mm-hmm.
the hurt feelings and how we repress them.
Mm-hmm.
And when we repress those feelings,
Mm-hmm.
we don't bounce back from them. But we also put our partner in a position where they can't help us bounce back.
Exactly, because they
from
don't
it.
know.
Exactly.
They can't read minds.
Exactly.
Unless they got some spiritual
Yeah.
insight. Something.
And even with that, sometimes they are so repressed that
Mm-hmm.
the person who is repressing them don't realize that it's happening.
Yes.
You know, it's
Mhm.
it's locked in as something and put in the category of no big deal.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
and they don't even realize what they're doing, not only to themselves but to their partner and to the relationship
Exactly.
itself.
And if there's not an openness in that relationship, using the HOT principle,
Mhm.
hot, honest, open, and transparency, if
Mhm.
that's not used in that relationship, which if you're in a balanced relationship, you're trying to use that as your structure in the first
Right.
place, then during those times, like in the holidays, your mate might be uncomfortable, might be feeling bad. You don't even know.
Exactly.
It's a holiday. They're supposed to be
Exactly.
feeling happy, and they're
Yeah.
not. And now you either got an attitude over it, and your attitude might be,
Mhm.
I don't care about them. That's the way they act. And that's the problem whatsoever.
Yeah.
And therefore, you don't have a good connection. And it's going to be hard to actually operate in the now
Mhm.
when both of you are not resonating
Right.
and clicking together. That's right. You could resonate and click or vibe together when you know that person.
Yeah.
And so people can tell why they're listening to us right now. We are now in the present, and I
Mhm.
know something new about you,
Yeah.
and it's able for me to be able to communicate with you more comfortable way because I know something about you, and using the Sankofa principle to be able to relate with one another by using the past that has to do with him, with
Mhm.
trees,
Mhm.
and being able to present that. So when we leave from here, we're going to get a Charlie Brown tree. No. I'm going to chop a tree down. We're going to have a tree with a whole bunch of lights.
He's gonna run out in the front yard and there's a branch that
tree.
fell down from the tree, and he's gonna set that up and wrap something around
I'm
it.
just joking.
I know.
But I do think that the next
Yeah.
time around we'll look at it a little bit. I'll look at it a little bit different
Mhm.
because me, I just look and go whatever,
Yeah.
and move out of the way from that area.
Yeah.
But hey, let's real quickly go to a commercial, and we'll be right back. So hold on to your heights, your thoughts, your toys, your relationship. We'll be right back, and we'll be talking to you. I know you guys miss us going live in the first place. We miss going live too
Yes,
at the
we
same
do.
time. Hey, take care. We'll be right back. Make sure I get this.
Hold
right.
tight.
And that. Oops. And we are back. We are back. We are back. Hey, thank you for being still there. Then I hear the music now in the background. It was me finally catching up what's going on too. Let me get
Yes.
rid of this down here. I want to show something so people know about where they can catch us in other places. Let's first start here, Sharon. Where is that?
Yes. Takingthejourneytogether.com. You can email us at ttjt@takingthejourney-together.com. We're on Facebook at TTJ Together. Instagram, we are Taking the J Together.
Taking the J,
Yes,
not the joint, folks. Not the joint. Okay. I mean, one day they will get that way in Georgia. Probably in hell, but anyway. No, they were talking about today. They were talking about pharmaceutical companies might be starting to sell, if they do in Georgia, through pharmaceutical companies. But there's certain aspects of the DEA who's kind of unhappy about it because they got to change the scheduling for it, and they're hard fast not to want to do that for Georgia as of yet. So anyway, it is what it is. What's the next one I got to pull out here? I'm trying to look for it. Where is it at? I think it's down
WRUU. It's
what
up,
I
up,
press.
up,
They
up,
need to
up,
do this
up,
much more
right above
easy
the one
there.
that
Right here. Yep.
Yeah.
I hate this.
Yeah.
Really.
Every Saturday morning from 9 to 10 a.m. Time might be changing a little bit, but we'll let you know when that happens.
Yes. The station's kind of moving things around, trying to move us into more of what they feel is appropriate time for the listeners over there.
Yeah.
So we'll be changing another time, but we'll let you. It's going to be kind of difficult because of your timing and what you do. Well, no, not really.
We'll just have to record and do what
exactly.
we do.
Continue what we're doing. Yeah, go ahead.
So every Saturday morning from 9 to 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we are on WRUU.org.
Mm-hmm.
And we generally talk about the same thing that we talk about on this show. However, the way it comes out and the things that are stated are different on each show.
Yeah.
And so to listen to both of the shows, you get sort of a double dose of what.
I'll make it simple and plain. When people look at you, you respond to them differently. When someone doesn't look at you, you respond to yourself and others differently.
Absolutely.
It's just that simple.
Absolutely.
Really. Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah. And one of the reasons why we got on the live stream is because people who were listening to us said they wanted to what?
See us.
They wanted to see us. So that's why.
And so when this opportunity came,
yes,
we took it.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. So I'm sorry, I don't want to cut you off.
No, I'm done.
Okay. So where do we go next?
Next, we are talking about, we could have been talking about communication because that's what we just did.
Oh, we did?
And
let's go ahead and do that because we were talking about communication. Yeah. Open up a communication that has to do with family member, your father passed, a Christmas tree. Okay.
Yeah.
And how that, what exactly happened when the Christmas, was him putting up the Christmas tree that brings back memory and you saw him? Because I know being a Southern Black gentleman, that most of the time they're seen but not heard. Mm-hmm. So is it in your mind the memory of him coming in, picking up the tree and his presence of doing that and putting tell us the story. What is it that
every year we had like this ritual. Nothing got decorated for Christmas until after Thanksgiving.
Okay.
And so
that's unusual.
When we were out of school for Thanksgiving, we would spend that Saturday, that Friday and Saturday, waxing the floors, mopping the floors. Not like we didn't do it all the time anyway, but that was when we put some wax down. And then we would, in the living room, we would move the furniture around so that the Christmas tree could be in front of the window.
Okay.
And within the next week of having the furniture moved around, by that next Friday, Daddy would always come in with the Christmas tree. He would always have a live Christmas tree. And there's nothing that smells better than a pine tree in the house.
So was it snowing when he came in? I'm just trying to picture it in my mind. Build a picture in our mind. You can make it up if you want. No, anyway.
Sometimes it was snowing. Sometimes it wasn't. It just depended on.
Did he have big snow boots on and a big shabby coat on, and he had a hat with snow all over his head? What was it?
No.
Okay, well, never mind that.
No, he would have it either on top or in the back of his Cadillac. So
He drove the Cadillac in the house and got the
no,
tree off.
no, I'm saying that's what he would drive up,
Oh,
up
okay.
in, and then he would take
Tie,
it out.
What did you do? Tie it to the roof?
Yeah,
Okay.
and then he would, get it off the roof and
Mhm,
of the car, and he would bring it in,
mhm.
and it was so exciting because you knew that it was that
Did you help
time.
him? Or you just let him do all the work?
I was too little,
Until little.
and I
Okay.
was real short,
Okay.
real short.
Okay.
I
So
mean,
how did he have to jam the tree down the chimney? Or did he go through the front door?
he came through the front door. Yeah,
Okay.
we didn't have a chimney.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I forgot Tennessee ain't got no chimneys.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, they
They-
do.
they
Oh
do.
wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
it gets
But you said you didn't have one.
that house did not have a chimney.
Oh, I'll be damned.
No, it did not.
So it came through the front door.
He came through the front
Mhm,
door,
and he put it.
and he would bring it over, and Mama would have this big.
Mhm,
It was like a pot or something.
Mhm.
I don't know what it was. It was probably one of her ex flower pots or
Mhm.
something, but it was big enough to hold it because she would have to put water in it,
mhm.
and she would brace it in there somehow. I don't know. I was just always in awe.
Okay.
And so they would brace the Christmas tree so it would stand up, and it would stand up nice and tall and fluff out the
Mhm.
branches and
Branches.
everything. And then we were able to start decorating because we would have
Did
all
you do the decorating?
Of course I did. I helped with the decorating. I'd
Mhm.
pull out the balls and the
Mhm, mhm.
icicles, and we had
So
tinsel, and
who did the one at the top at the start? The top. Did you guys do that?
there was always something at the top, and it was never me. It was whoever
Oh.
was ready to stand up on the chair and could reach it.
Oh,
Just to-
I thought you were going to tell me the story of Daddy put me on his shoulder, and I got to put the star on top. Look, he's
and
getting wings.
the angel got its wings. Yeah.
So you didn't get that
No.
chance to. Did you ever want to say, Dad, can I get on your shoulder to put something?
You know what? That never dawned on
Oh,
me.
okay.
It was not. That was not a part of our tradition.
Oh, okay.
That seemed important.
Okay.
I mean, it was.
So I'm just going by what I saw on TV.
Yeah, it was
from up
cute. It
north,
was
that
cute on the movie, but it was
Yeah.
not. It was not that important. It
I
was.
mean, even the Grinch had that little Yahoo girl at the end, put something on top of the
which
tree.
was also a take off of It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah, it
But my
was.
wonderful life did not even. There were no stairs in our house.
Mhm. So you didn't have a wonderful life. You
I
didn't
had
have-
a.
Black folks didn't have no wonderful life.
I
like that?
had a wonderful life.
Okay, I'm just.
It just did not include
that.
that. We had some.
I
Kind
won't
of,
mess with your story.
we had some kind of star or something up there.
Mhm,
But for me, all of that was kind of secondary.
mhm,
The most important part of that,
mhm,
and the biggest memory of that,
mhm,
was, first of all, when Mama said that Daddy was bringing the tree that night.
mhm,
Then all day I was in anticipation
mhm.
and making sure that the furniture was right so that he could come in and all of that, so
Mhm.
that there would be no broken branches.
Mm.
And he would bring the tree in, and every year he would bring the tree in, and he would send that tree up, and it was just like, for me, that's where
Christmas
the-
really meant something to you.
the
then?
world began.
So the
Yeah.
tree to you represented life to you in your house during that time.
You know what? I guess it did.
Wow, isn't that something?
And the fact that he brought it in.
Yeah, he
and-
brought life into the
Uh-huh,
house.
Yeah.
And what's ironic is trees are looked upon as being life in many cultures
Yes.
around the world.
Mhm.
We just saw the fossil of a tree. Remember we saw
Yes, that
that
was
tree had to be a
huge.
1,000 feet high,
Had to
as
been.
big, as huge as the trunk was that was cut
Mhm.
off. And of course, redwood trees go very, very high too.
Yes.
And of course, the oldest trees are the Balboa trees. I think they are
Baobab.
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 In Africa. I mean,
Mhm.
they're over 10,000 some years old,
Yes,
something like that.
yes.
But they don't even look like trees. They're so large
Yeah.
and they're so skinny on the top with the branches. But still, trees are looked upon as being a sign of life,
Mhm.
internal life, because
Yes.
they exist as a plant that have been around for years,
Mhm.
for
Yeah.
thousands of years.
Yes.
So a lot of history those trees have actually seen
Right.
and lived by. So I can understand that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can
So
see
it was just a really joyous time, and then the lights and the colors and the
Mhm.
and it was just real festive.
Put your toys down around the.
Well, that didn't come until later.
Oh, then coming later.
Yeah, because this was like the end of November, the
Mhm.
beginning of December,
Mhm.
and
And I'm assuming you passed that tradition on with your kids and stuff.
I did.
Same thing. That's
I
what I
did.
thought. So
Yes.
did your first husband, did he bring the tree in?
Yes.
Oh man, you made him do that too.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Because my
I'm
children
glad
had
that
to
didn't
have
happen to me.
my children had to have a live tree too.
Oh my God.
They had to have that experience.
Oh really?
Yes.
So okay, well, there's no talking that goes between us to know that, but okay. Oh, thank God it didn't pass on to me. I was not going to bring no live tree in. That was just not how that happened with us. Back in the old days, it was the old aluminum tree that
Oh,
Mom had,
Gosh.
and it had that looked like a pizza pie with cellophane and different color
Colors,
lights in it, a
yes.
triangle, and they
Yes.
turned on this little motor
Yes.
that changed the different colors of the little bitty aluminum Charlie Brown tree. That was great. See how I remember that in detail?
Yes.
And every time I'd watch it, I'd go, oh my God, we got a Charlie Brown tree.
You know,
Every year.
I never thought of it as a Charlie Brown tree, but we had
Well,
one.
you had a live
we-
tree that was
Yeah,
big,
but
so
we,
that's why.
we had one for 2 years.
Mhm,
We had one of the little silver trees for 2 years
mhm.
because
Walmart
the-
was pushing that, by the way.
the year
No,
that,
Kmart was
Yeah.
pushing that.
I don't know, the year that
Mhm.
the year that Daddy died was the last year that the last Christmas that we had a live tree.
Mhm,
We didn't have a car, you know, and nobody could go out and get one.
Mhm.
So Mama came home with this little aluminum tree. It was a pretty big aluminum tree.
mhm.
I-
You just cried.
Inside I did.
That's why I thought I could hear.
Inside I
You
did.
could move from it now. Dear.
Yes. Oh, I
Your
have.
morning is
I
now.
have. Yes.
Your big daddy will go ahead and get you and cut down a big tree for you, so your memory will come. I will. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go out tonight, and I'm gonna go someplace in Georgia and find me a good. I'll ask it first before I cut it down. Can I cut it down? And I'll cut that thing down, and I'll bring it back on top of my Cadillac. No, my little Prius.
Yeah, thank you.
And you'll get your tree.
Oh,
Come on.
thank you.
Okay, but you got to put the lights on.
Yes. And that
somebody
was-
be home now. Yeah.
Exactly. You know, but yeah, the little silver tree
Mhm.
was like, that was like almost sacrilegious. You know,
Mhm,
It was-
mhm.
it was like, it was so like, no,
Hey, but many of us grew up with that Kmart tree.
yeah.
I remember there's a place called Western Auto. Some of y'all don't even know
Oh,
Western Auto who they
wow.
were. They were actually out of Kansas City, Missouri, by the way.
I remember
That was the main office
Yes.
was. And Western Auto was the first place we got our bicycles from.
Mhm.
Okay, our tricycles from. Ones we had sissy bars and had shifters on. That's how much I remember. In the wagons and the BB guns that shot your eye out. And so we used to get our trees from and I think, if I remember, Western Auto, I think it existed before Kmart.
I'm
I
pretty sure
think
it did.
Western Auto existed before Kmart because that was that kind of store that was like a hardware,
Mhm.
but like a department store.
It was an everything store.
Exactly. You could
Yeah.
get auto parts from out of Western
Mhm.
Auto too. I remember that. Yeah. Anyway, some of you young folks don't even know who Western Auto is. Gotta Google it, and your basic see it. That same,
Or as they
building-
say, search it up.
yeah, search it up. That same building, I think, still exists in Kansas City, Missouri. I think when you were there living with me, I think I must have rode you past that building because
Probably.
it's like a triangle building, if I remember right.
Wow.
That was over on the side in the mid part of Kansas City, Missouri. But
Wow.
anyway, so we need to go if we possibly can. Though we've been enjoying ourselves, kind of freestyling a little bit. Hope you guys have been enjoying it and learned something from it. We kind of basically live our life, especially if you're living your life as a healthy relationship. There's not really that kind of thing called order in it. It is about being freestyle. It is about being
Yes.
free and
going
operating
with
and
the
flowing
flow.
with exactly and living in that now
Mhm.
from that end. So yeah, communications. That's what you said we were moving in, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And then I think we talked before about conflict resolution. Did we not do that?
No, I don't think we talked about conflict resolution because
Okay.
we were there, but we hadn't really gotten down to this part. yet.
Oh.
Yeah, we just happened to slip into it
Mhm.
accidentally by the way it was going. No, we had just done disagreeing well,
Disagreeing. Well,
and so now we were banishing shame.
well,
That's where we.
I
should
want to
start.
remind people we're still talking about resilience, okay?
Mhm.
And the resilience in a relationship is the ability to withstand stress, conflict, and be able to bounce back after
Yes.
setbacks.
Yes.
And so we know that in a balanced relationship, like any relationship,
Mhm.
you're not going to always be flowing smoothly.
Yes.
You're not going to always be getting along. You're going to have stress, if not stress from the inside. You're definitely, especially today, you have stress from the outside.
Yes.
I ain't want to get into all the stuff that's stressing people from the
Oh,
outside.
God.
They say that younger people are not going to live as well as we did, and yet we were about trying to have it so that they can live better.
Mhm.
A lot of us know some of our kids are not going to in turn
No.
live better.
No.
It doesn't necessarily mean we didn't grow them up right or we didn't give them the right kind of principles. It could just be some of the strokes of things in life in the past that they took, and how the economy right now was not necessarily built for everybody to be able to work at every place and being able to have a job. And we don't necessarily have the government now thinking about trying to, because of that fact, giving everybody at least a source of living
Mhm.
at a certain standard whatsoever from that end. So sadly to say, some of our young people are not going to live as well, though we know because of that, a lot of them are living with their parents and grandparents.
Exactly. Still.
Bounce back is important
Yeah.
because we're talking about trying to move from who you are from the inside.
Mhm.
And so the key thing to that is learning, how am I going to be able to be resilient?
Right.
How am I going to bounce back in my relationships?
What are some things that I can put into place to help us?
Mm-hmm.
Because if I help me, I'm helping us.
Exactly.
And so that's very important, that you don't dwell on these things.
Exactly.
That you can move on from them and find the bright spot. Sankofa principle.
Mm-hmm.
You want to speak the Sankofa principle?
Well, the Sankofa principle is just an African principle that has to do with that it is okay to go back in the past and pick up those things, those memories in the past that have to do with something you learned from, and present it in the future. Because there's really nothing new under the sun when it comes to human beings. It's just more knowledge.
Right.
And the more knowledge, especially through the internet we get, that just means that we may not have the ability, most of us don't have the ability, to be able to discern all that knowledge.
Yes.
Put it into the right place. Put it in such a way where we can in turn understand how to be grounded, because some knowledge is good for you. Some of
is
it
not.
is just junk. It's waste.
Right.
It really is just waste.
Yes.
And advertisers know that. But anyway, and so we're not necessarily being able to do that. Wise principles help for that.
Mhm.
Those of us who know, some people use the Torah, they use the Bible, they use other particular religious belief systems and writings from the past to help them deal with the pressures of this world. And more of us need to.
Yes.
I'll be honest with you from the end. So we're just giving you principles that are going to help you during these times to be able to have a balanced relationship. In this case, use resilience to be able to bounce back. Like a rubber band that snaps back after being stretched, resilience relationships must also be able to bounce back at a point where we need to take a break sometimes from conflict. And
Definitely.
at very least, we need to take a break from talking about the conflict. Do you have a person that's like me? Excuse me, like others, sometimes they keep on talking about a conflict. Until the conflict is beat to death. He beat the dead horse. And then you still look at the dead horse and say, why aren't you dead already?
Until it flares up again.
Exactly. I'll bring the dead horse back alive. But anyway, it's alive.
To beat it some more.
But sometimes we need a break in our relationship. We're not talking about a break as for we don't need to see each other. We're not referring to that. We're talking about a break. Again, people need to listen to this. We're not talking about in a balanced relationship that we need to take a break from seeing each other. We already do that when we do our different jobs.
Yes.
We already do that when we go to sleep. I should let the last one I'll say first. When we go to sleep.
Yes.
So when we go to the bathrooms or different places, we already do that. We're talking about a break from conflict.
Yes.
Vacations.
Yes.
Walking in the park. Doing Tai Chi. Being able to stretch and exercise.
Going to the gym.
We need those breaks from that, basically dealing with the conflicts that are going on in our mind.
Yes. I do it with cooking. Cooking is one of my sanity savers. And it helps me to bounce back and treat you like a human being. Especially after some of my days. This time of year is very stressful for me from work. When I come home from work, it's like I need to breathe because
you
it's
need
a
to stop at a
different
bar.
situation.
They have a teacher bar down the street. All the teachers are usually in it. They keep the door closed so nobody knows.
All the more reason for me not to go.
Oh, you need to go. I hear downstairs they got a stripper club for those teachers who really need one.
Okay.
In fact, they use coins instead of dollars.
That's because that's all teachers have.
Teacher coins. You can put them in the slots at least. No, I'm just
Gosh.
oh my goodness. So again, sometimes that's
See what I have to put up with.
that's that break.
Exactly.
That's that break.
Yeah.
Make
me laugh.
I do that a lot.
Yes.
Keep me from being too stressful, no doubt about it.
Mhm.
Those stereotypes usually say black people are only, especially men, are supposed to be entertainers, and that's been a bad stereotype. But it could be a positive stereotype in your relationship
Yes.
from the standpoint, because laughter is like medicine to the soul.
Absolutely.
It's like medicine to the soul.
And with that, we are
Mm.
going to be prepared to bounce back a little bit next week
Yes.
and bounce right back into resilience as we try to get ready to close it out.
Yes,
Next week.
got to get ready to close it out. We'll be near the Christmas time next time.
No, we've got about 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah,
Okay.
it'll be yeah, right about 2 weeks from there.
Okay. Wow.
Yes,
wow.
but that's close.
That is
That
pretty
is
close.
close. Yeah.
We'll bring some toys. No, we'll have a picture of the tree. Remind me,
Yes.
put the picture of the tree. The people want to see
Yes.
the tree.
Yes.
Well, until next time, be resilient, be loving, make sure that you live in the now, in the present.
Yes.
All right. Take care. God bless and Ashe.
I say.
I like that.